says close your legs if you don't.
What are you saying, you weirdo?
He said, Dobby says close your legs if you don't.
What are you talking about?
Dobby,
What
his
is
hands
wrong
were
with you?
Shut the fuck up.
Alright, welcome everybody.
Oh no, I
to
didn't know it was
fucking
live stream.
Oh my god.
Why do you say we're going live?
I don't gotta say shit. You should know when the cameras are rolling, you son of a bitch.
Can't do that. You look like I'm a psychopath. It's gonna be like what the fuck went on before.
Oh fuck. God, that was fucking funny as shit.
You got me again. You did that one other time. Fucking hate you, fuck. What did you do?
I messed up. I'm trying to play with
Did you close out all the fucking tabs?
yeah.
You're an actual fucking idiot. You're lucky I gotta take a piss. I fucking
What are the things we're talking about? Fuck. No, I got it. So, hey everybody, welcome to today's stream. JJ is gonna go use the bathroom because he has really bad bladder. JJ has bad bladder. God dang. And I can't speak English, so there's that. But yeah, we have a couple of so this one's gonna be kind of a short one, not too long. We're gonna be talking about some of the things we've been reading recently. Me mostly manga, but JJ has a combination of manga, comics, and books. So it should be a little fun, a little interesting, just kind of simple little gab, if you know what I mean, bro. So yeah, just sit back. You can. It's not really a video kind of podcast we're doing. We're just talking shit about things we've read. And to see,
I would like to apologize to the elf community. I did not mean to imply that you guys were all Trump supporters. I apologize.
and I do though.
Or house elves, sorry, specifically.
So yeah, we're gonna go, and honestly, what we're gonna do is just do one at a time. I do one, JJ does one, so on and so forth. So yeah, what are you laughing at? You fucking goober. This dude's like fucking dumb, bro.
Just really like Trump supporting elves.
Dude, I just wanted you to realize like your mistake
What?
of like acting like that.
What?
Like acting like a child.
Fuck you. I'm not a child. I'm a real boy.
Alright, so real quick, let me just make sure this all sounds good. I'm gonna hop on the stream myself on my end. So let me just get my little earbuds out
That's cute.
just to hear everything.
So, because Peter is small brained and only reads manga, my picks are going to be one's going to be manga, one's going to be comic books, and one's going to be an actual book. I read a lot. It's a little bit of a hobby of mine. I have a video that I'm currently editing. That's hello.
No, that I'm just sitting here.
Can
What?
I hear this? Oh, okay.
Keep going.
Um,
I'm small brained. I'm small brained.
I just feel like you don't respect me as a person. No. Can you fucking like? This is a clusterfuck of a stream already. What the fuck am I saying? Oh, I'm working on a video about like why you should read, but like not being nice about it, being very mean about it, because everyone has the time to read, but they're just making up excuses. So yeah, check that video out when it comes out.
Oh my god, was JJ already shilling? Like, who fucking cares? All right, so
Sorry, I guess someone wasn't prepared for the fucking stream. It's almost like you should tell your partner in crime when the stream is starting. so he doesn't look like an alt-right asshole.
You weren't. You were being funny. Don't even worry about it. Who cares? So we're gonna talk about my first pick because it's something that JJ recommended me to read, which is Sakamoto Days. I will tell you this: when I first started reading it, like a few months back, did not care for it. It was kind of too boring.
It was trying to be first a comedy, and like, I understand it was more slice of life in the beginning, but now to where it is now, it's just like it's something completely different. But still comedic in some
parts. Yeah. You know what? Now that you bring that up,
it's like this Family
kind of similar to like how the Bakuman like characters had to keep revising their series and changing the way it was like.
Which one's Bakuman?
It's the one where the two
kids,
with
the balls?
The two, that's Bakugan. Bakuman is the manga where the two.
The manga one where they create a manga together. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it is.
You know what? Because now that you bring that up, this probably was going to be a slice of life, but then nobody
really gave a shit.
Yeah, so they had to make it like very serious
and
and now like for at least for me, I'm liking.
But it fucking works.
Yeah, because like I'm gonna be completely honest, like the slice of life stuff did not work for me. I did not care enough for it, unless like they were just trying to establish the characters early on. But it just like for me, it just felt like way too slow. Because if I wanted this, like Spy Family does it better. Yeah, if I wanted that, Spy Family does it better. Where it really wasn't getting me, like, oh, fat guy can murder people. But now that it's kind of like going into like the backstory of like the main villain and his connection to Sakamoto and all that other shit, it's really cool. I'm really liking it. It's got some really cool freaking art.
It's got amazing art.
I don't know if I can show it on stream. I don't feel like testing that out. But I showed my brother a panel and he was like, "That looks really cool."
Yeah, it's sick.
Like if my brother could learn to read, he would read it.
No, it's like people are all like, "Yo, jiu-jitsu fights are good." You ain't seen nothing yet. These fights are fucking.
These fights are good, man.
It's like it has a perfect balance of like. It's got like really great energy going into it, where it's not like, how do I explain it? Like jiu-jitsu, like gets into the fight scene, you're like, oh, it's just starting, and then they'll go through like how the fucking curse technique works, and you're like, shut the fuck up, let me just see this awesome fight. Whereas Sakamoto Days, once they're getting into the fight, there's pretty much nothing breaking the fight. It's just
no one really thinking except for when they're like
no one thinking like 5 steps ahead, like, oh my god, I have to use my
and if they are thinking 5 steps ahead, it's like not explained.
Yeah.
Because they just want you to see how the fight works.
Yeah,
and then,
it's like I kind of wish that like One Piece fights were like this. You know what I mean? Because a lot of One Piece fights are kind of underwhelming in the manga. Because a lot of it is just like the fight, but it's covered in fucking dialogue balloons. I'm like, I want to see this shit. Get the fuck out of my way.
But I'm really glad I caught on with this. I just got really bored one day at work and started reading, like just blazing through it, and I was like, oh, it's actually getting interesting. I'm completely caught up.
Nice.
I mean, it's not that long. Like if you're just
it's only just reached like 100.
Yeah, it's at 110, 111. So like
you could easily do that.
You won't miss out on anything.
Well, if you have no social life, you can do it in 3 days. If you do have a social life,
and good for you. You can see the art. You can see the cover art. Like it looks really good. I like this character. I mean,
because the art is very good and like it can be cartoony, but then like some characters, their face is just drawn super realistically for like no fucking reason. Like the grandma, grandma teacher, like her face is super detailed.
Reminds me to mention that like the art style and the way like they portray like fights and murder, kind of reminds me of Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, a little bit. Like if Chainsaw Man fights were actually good. I mean, they are good with the context of the story, but my biggest problem with Chainsaw Man fights is like the actual panel to panel layout is not great. But like with Sakamoto Days, that's not the case at all. Like the panel layout is fucking fantastic. It flows super smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like you're watching in real time. It's honestly fantastic. It's just no one's doing what Sakamoto Days is doing right now in Shonen. And I know people are like, oh, hyping things up, but honestly, this is worth the hype. Like,
it's really good.
If you don't care about the story, at the very least, you get banger ass fights and really good character design.
Yeah, the character design. Look at these characters. Like you've got
Sakamoto.
Yeah, these two are in their fucking schmucks.
Yeah.
Clerk outfits. Then you've got the Chinese girl.
Yeah.
And then you've got the really cool. Like, look at the way the shoe is drawn. Like,
yeah.
It looks cool. And like the gun, it's got like a really nice 3D effect here. Like he looks like really nice.
That's actually. Can I go on a side tangent real quick?
Sure.
Quick side tangent. Jim Lee hates drawing Batman after he draw All-Star Batman, which is a shitty comic, but like the art is really good because he's one of the first artists to give Batman like boot-like details. So now every single time he had to draw Batman, he had to draw those details, and he's like, I'm kicking. I don't know why I fucking did
that. Like you've got this guy who's like goes invisible, and then this weird deer guy in the background.
Oh, the deer guy. Like, that dude.
You've got
I
like
love that character design.
This like
goth
like
bride kind of look.
Yeah, with a giant saw.
And the movie guy, I forget his name, but the movie guy is fucking
awesome. He looks really cool. He's got a really cool design.
We gotta.
He's got like as a scarf. He has like film reel on his scarf, and then you've got Nagumo, I guess how you pronounce it, with like very classic like trench coat, goofy shirt, and then like long black hair. But then his weapon is really sick. It's 6 blades.
I just got his name. That's how you spell him. If you want to look it up on Google Images.
Kanaguri.
Yeah, you gotta show people this. I fucking love this design because it's not overdone. It's just the right amount. Like this guy likes film. You know, it's not like what they did with the Ninja Turtles reboot, where it's like, look, Donatello's a nerd. Look, he's got all these fucking gadgets and gizmos on him. Like, it's fucking subtle. Yeah, see, that's the.
Let me just make it look better. Open image and
open that shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Even the small detail like that draws attention, but it's not too much.
Like he's always got a camera. He's literally wearing film reel as a scarf. Like, he looks cool.
Yeah,
looks very, very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that Sakamoto Days. Yeah, I would recommend it. But at the same time, I'm not going to go as crazy as you, thinking it's like super revolutionary and like.
No, I'm not saying it's revolutionary. I'm just saying, as of right now, it is the best action in shonen, like current manga right now.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I really recommend it. But JJ, what is something that I recommended to you that you read?
You did.
Yeah. So let's bring some context into this.
Now we're bringing it back. See, the first one we started was one I recommended, and then now this one is
like this is all planned.
It's fucking planned.
All right, so JJ, why don't we show them what we're talking about? Something
we don't second guess. We have a whole fucking script planned out. Okay.
Yeah, this is all
not
scripted.
satire.
That Davi part was definitely scripted.
Yes, it was.
JJ wrote it.
I said before we start the video, let me act like a jackass.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about Blue Flag.
Blue Flag. Okay, so
context. Give them the context of all this.
I'm about to.
And you're going to.
So we were talking about. I think it always starts this way. Peter starts saying, I want to read Rent a Girlfriend again. I want to catch up. And I'm like, God, I fucking hate shoujo. It's such trash. And you're like, it's not trash. It's actually very good. I'm like, no, it's all trash. I hate it's a fucking harem shit. And like, it's just boring to me now. Like back when I was in high school, it would be interesting because I would be like, what if I had a bunch of ladies chasing after me? But now that I'm a grown ass adult, like that shit does not like quintuplets, whatever the fuck, doesn't interest me. I don't give a shit. Oh wow, they all want his dick. Great. Whoa.
Not all of them. Only shut up.
I know what you're trying to do. Shut up. Rent a Girlfriend. Oh, who's he gonna fall in love with? And then the author's like, I want more money. I'm gonna drag this out.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah. So I'm like, don't give me any of that shit. So then you recommended 3, but one stood out to me. One because it was available on the Shonen Jump and Viz Media app. and 2, you were just like, it's really good. It's one of my
I've
favorites.
been talking about
Yes,
this since like 2 summers ago.
Yes, yeah. And I kept
like,
brushing it
it's
aside.
so good. You're gonna love it.
I kept brushing it aside like, this is fucking shoujo. How could it be? So, to give you context, so generally in shonen manga, it's depending on what kind of how much time the author is given. It's like 24 pages per chapter. This one is 50 pages per chapter. So when I first started it, I was like, oh fuck, this is gonna be time commitment. It's gonna be a slow burn. I'm not gonna burn through it. I finished this shit in like what 2 or 3 days.
It took me like over a month to finish it.
Yeah,
like he really
like
went in on it.
And I was just like hook, line, and sinkered. I was like,
like explain it to me, JJ, because I don't think we really got into it, you and me. But like, what like really got you to read this? Like, what was it that was like, you know what?
Well, I don't want to.
I'm gonna fucking read it.
I'm gonna talk generally. I don't want to spoil it because genuinely, people should read. Like, my friend Markeith, who relates to a certain character, is like, I can only finish a couple chapters a day because like I went through this in high school and it's a little traumatic, low key.
Like, because it's really well written. I don't know much about the manga artist or the person who wrote it, but it feels something very much experienced.
It's very experienced and real. It feels real. It doesn't feel like, now we gotta do the beach episode kind of thing. It's like it's dealing with it writes teenage characters like I've never seen in a drama sense before, because a lot of dramas, they like, it's a 40-year-old dude writing about teenagers and he just doesn't get it. It's like, I'll see you later on the Snapchat, homie.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
dude. And
with his skateboard and the backwards hat.
We just grade.
Across the fucking. I love, my favorite trope in any like bad horror movie is when like they made the film like a year ago, so that trend is already dead. But then now, because the film came out a year later, it's like, watch me do the Dougie, and it's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Just never do modern trends when you're filming, because they will be outdated almost immediately after showing it. Anyways, but this one tricked me. You fucking tricked me. I was like shoujo. I was like boy girl. Got it. Let's just say there's an LGBTQ little thing in it. Yeah. Well, it doesn't have the fucking tags on the app, idiot. How about you shut the fuck up?
No, I'm just saying for the
audience. No, I know. For you. But and I was like, oh, you tricked me into reading a gay manga.
I tricked him into reading boys love. Yeah. And girls love. It is and girls love, much. It is very much like,
without uttering the word lesbian or gay, but like I kind of like that, because too much of the time it's like, hey, aren't you gay? And it's like, wow, that was kind of like, no one talks like that,
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it feels very much like, I love someone like me kind of thing. Like, it's that kind
I
of
love this person who happened, and they just happen to be this.
But what I really like about it is like, there's one chapter which you thought I would hate, but I loved and adored.
I fucking hate that chapter.
No, I love it.
I wish we can go into spoilers for it, but we won't.
Well, I will be very, very low context. I'm not going to say any of the characters' relationships to each other or anything. Just know it's a romance. There's going to be love in it, obviously. So
it's not even about romance, that chapter. It's the one we discussed in the car, at length, right?
No. But what I'm saying, so that chapter specifically, it's about a group of teenagers, and they're talking about gay people or homosexuality. And it is so accurate to like high school teenagers thinking that they know everything kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, when you're a teenager, you think you're the shit, you know everything. And like, this very much comes off like that. Like, there's one dude that's kind of homophobic, not in a like burn them all type of way, but in like a how do I say it? In like a unwilling to compromise in his like morals. Yeah, like he'll like, if anyone questions him on it, it's like, well, they do this, well, they do that kind of thing, but not in like a, kill them all type of way. And then there are teenage girls that are very much like, well, if you're not part of like this, then you're the bigot, you're the asshole, and kind of like, we're right in this situation. And then there's a mediator kind of who's just like, you doing that is just going to make him more homophobic. And it's like, it's this really interesting conversation, because no one's really right.
Yeah.
And it like, it's pretty like, if you really want to look at it in the grand plot,
because
it's completely pointless.
To be fair, there is more context to why.
Yes, there is. There's
all
100%.
the characters are saying these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, there's the main character who's just sitting there.
Yeah. Who's just
he doesn't say
nothing.
a word.
But that's
when
good.
The situation's about that person.
Yeah, because you kind of know his thought process, or you can infer it because he doesn't talk about it outwardly, but you kind of get what he thinks about the subject. He's just like, he doesn't want to get into a hot debate. Like, it's just like he'd rather just write it out. But yeah, I loved that chapter. And normally I hate chapters like that where it doesn't contribute much to the plot or character growth at all. I'm like, then what is the point of this chapter? But I feel like it was just the author flexing, like, look how realistic I can draw these fucking teenagers. Because I've been in conversations with, like, especially theater students and stuff like that, that, like, I'm like, that's fucking real. Like, I've heard this conversation before. Yeah. It's so on point.
I read this manga solely because of...
I think I gave it a 9 or a 10 on my mouth.
Oh, sorry. I was reading a Pro Z video. Or watching a Pro Z video. And he was like, this is literally one of the best mangas.
Oh, I gave it an 8. No, I'm going to...
He was literally one of the best manga he's ever read. You should read it. It's a really good shoujo, he said. And so I gave it a read.
And 50 pages go like that because you're like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Or some character gets introduced. I remember I sent you a screenshot. I'm like, oh, I hate this bitch. I hope she dies. And then like right after, I'm like, oh, now I understand.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah. Like, no one's kind of a villain.
No one's like, there's always in those shoujos, like the girl who's like trying to get with the guy just because like he's with a girl and she doesn't like that. Like, there's no really malicious character in this. Yeah. It's just teenagers being confused and not knowing what the fuck they want out of life. And that's all it is.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it so powerful, even for people like me and you who are done with, like, the high school phase in our lives, but also still trying to figure each other out, like, figure ourselves out. Yeah. Because, you know, we're not that old. We're only 23. Like, we still have so much. So you're 24.
I'm 25.
You're 25. Oh yeah, because you just turned 25.
I'm in my mid-20s.
Yeah, you're fucking old. But even still, we're still figuring ourselves out. You know?
Yeah, like we've experimented with our bodies on each other. And...
No. No.
Why? What's wrong with that?
I want to see what this other person has worked on.
What's wrong with that?
Their author is Kaito, not a Vocaloid. What the fuck? Kaito, Blue Flag. There we go. Let's
just
see
click
if we
on
can
the
get
author's
the author.
Name. There you go. Jake's not going with you into sodas. Kaito's book. Let's see Kaito's book. Like fucking. Well, it's a thrift one, but I mean. Oh, it's just all blue. Maybe it's just only Blue Flag.
That's why I was gonna look here on Anime Network, see if they have anything.
Blue Flag.
It's just news. It's just
news. So that's the only thing he's really done.
Have they really only published this? We don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
They don't have pictures of them.
No. They're only
they only have one web page with 5 results. Wait, what? Oh, here we go.
Right.
Oh my god. I was like, that's it.
Cross
management.
Is that like a lacrosse?
Oh, I see that right here. Cross management.
Oh, I seen that one on the Disney.
And then Buddy Strike.
I don't think I'm gonna read that one.
I don't know what that is.
Just based on the title.
But yeah, that's definitely.
Maybe this one's good. I mean, it's only 5 volumes, so it probably got canceled. Or they're really long ones because Blue Flag was only 6 volumes. Or no, it was 8.
Blue Flag is 8 volumes.
8 volumes.
So they're probably just really long chapters.
Yeah.
So
or it got canned.
I mean, if it's got 5 volumes, it's not fucking canned. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of volumes.
Yeah, it is.
Or it ended, you know.
Or it ended, yeah.
Whatevs.
Semantics, people. Semantics.
So, yeah, JJ, would you recommend people read Blue Flag?
I mean, 100%. I am a shonen boy. I'm an action boy. I've always said I don't like reading comics unless people are punching each other. That's not with everything, but like especially with romance, I get bored very easily.
Mhm.
But like with this one, it held my attention. Yeah, I mean, it was fucking fantastic through and through.
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like straight up, I love this one to death.
Mhm.
I'm really glad you read it.
Yeah, I'm glad I read it too. It's one of my favorites.
Most high test podcast will grind in the gym. Yo, I love to see it. Hearing us talk about freaking
All right,
boys
you
love
should
manga.
elk meat. Elk meat.
You should be eating elk meat while reading Blue Flag,
Yeah,
while
yeah, yeah.
crying
While
your
crying.
eyes out,
While
and
hunting
then
deer.
hunting deer, and then
Yeah, yeah.
pumping some huge
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
games.
yeah.
So no, yeah, for real. I love this fucking
Mhm.
manga. It's so good.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of a party and I had to like leave the party to keep reading it. So the last like 3 chapters, I'm like, I'm just finishing this.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting in the toilet like watching it, and I come out and I'm just fucking in tears.
Yeah.
And my family's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Wrong with you.
So
What just well, maybe we'll talk about it off the air if you don't want to talk about it. What did you think about the ending? I thought the ending was it was pretty good. I wasn't too thrilled with it.
The ending definitely threw me
Yeah.
off. I still think in terms of the story,
Mhm.
it works, but in terms of fulfillment as a reader,
Yeah.
it didn't really grab me as I felt like, and that's why I kind of didn't like that chapter with all the talking.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
felt well, yes, there's the aspect of like, oh my god, they aren't. Oh, speaking of somebody who needs to freaking go to the bathroom or just leave.
No. I was just pulling up my pants.
Outside, like what I didn't like about those chapters, it just felt like really rushed because that's like the last, like it's like the last.
Yeah, it's pretty much
few
the last
chapters.
chapter, and then it's just like
It's like 3, 4. That's like 3 or 4 chapters
Yeah.
away from the end,
Mhm.
if I remember.
It reminds me of. I gotta see it. Everything Evil? No, what the fuck is it called? Hold on. All right, keep talking.
So
I'll find it.
I just was like, it just seems really rushed at the very end. So that is one big missed opportunity, and that's probably due to the fact that maybe, kind of in the similar vein JJ was saying about the other artists.
Oh, the Flowers are Evil. The Flowers are Evil. That
is that the
last
one with the
couple
one
channels.
with the mom who like kills?
No,
her?
that's by the same author. That's Trail, Tears of Blood.
What's Flowers of Evil?
Flowers of Evil. The very very basics of it is, a teenager has a crush on a girl, and accidentally one day, not accidentally, but finds a bra, and he's like a middle schooler, right? He's like, a bra from like one of the girls. Oh my god! So he keeps it, runs away with it. Then one of the girls, not the girl that he has a crush on, but another girl is like, I know what you did, and I'll expose everyone. You have to do everything I fucking say. And like that sounds like if it's a traditional show, it's like whoa, but like it's creepy. She's like, all right, now wear her underwear under your clothes. It's like psychological. It's like wear your underwear while you're going on a date with her. Wear her underwear while you're going on a date with
How did he
crush.
get her underwear? Bricks
It
in the
wasn't a
house?
bra. It was the panties. So
That's what I'm saying.
I
How?
fucked up.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
In the beginning, it's panties, not a bra. Sorry.
Gotcha.
So she's like, wear her fucking clothes. And it's like, whoa, what the? And it's like very, it's like Jujin Ito type of thing, but it's not like cosmic horror. It's like real kind of thing. It's like the facial expressions and everything. It's like psychological and fucked up. So if you don't like psychological shit and it like actually unnerves you, I mean, read it because it does a good job. But if it distresses you, then don't read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe
If
I'll
you can
give it a-
handle it, read it. If you can't, then just stop.
Maybe I'll give it a quick
Yeah.
read. I don't think I'll
Mhm.
fully read it. I'm not really into those weird ones.
It's only 50 chapters, I believe. 60, 50? I don't know.
So yeah. Well, I don't like the ending. I think the overall story is amazing.
Mhm.
Whoever wrote that needs to touch Crass. Yo, for real.
yeah.
For real. That guy sounds fucking demented.
Well,
So
everything he writes is demented.
yeah. So to go on to the complete opposite
Mhm.
of shoujo, we're going back into shonen with another entry that's for us has been really hitting it.
Damn,
off.
all your recommendations are shonen. I did not expect this. And one of mine is a romance. That's crazy. I never would have thought that in a million fucking years.
Yeah.
Well, this one's it's got shonen though, or shoujo elements.
Like whatever. Like kind of. I'm gonna look into some more.
No, I'm into it.
I'll look into some more on this side real quick, but like I've been reading Dan. It is really good.
I've also been reading it. I'm not caught up because fuck you, Shonen Jump app. But
it is by this guy.
It's really fucking good.
Tatsu Yukinobu.
Like I have to stop myself from reading it, otherwise I'm just gonna go right through it, and I don't have the time.
He was a former assistant to who? Fujimono.
Oh, that's Chainsaw Man, I think, right? Yeah, that's Chainsaw Man.
That's crazy.
That kind of makes sense now.
Oh, that's crazy cool.
This makes entirely sense now.
Well, like, I want to just try to kind of showcase some of the manga panels from the first chapter.
Yeah.
Like, this
is crazy.
This dude,
but awesome.
This was so creepy to read at night.
Yeah.
Like, I read one chapter of Dan, but I had to quit. I couldn't stand fan service. That girl's cute, though.
I mean...
Yo, I understand, because I know you're talking about this.
Yeah.
You're talking about this. 100%. It's really weird. And then there's the fucking grandma.
Like, the grandma.
Like, let me pull her up real quick. Every time I look up a character name, a Vocaloid shows up.
At least one Vocaloid will appear at night and standing at the bottom of your bed.
Let me see, like, that's kind of like the best way to describe the fan service of it. Like, she's very fan servicey for obvious reasons.
It's not to the point of.
It's not obnoxious.
It's not Naruto with what's her face, the one with the big boobs.
Tsunade.
Yeah,
I mean, even like her isn't either. Like, it's just like she just like is there for the it's funny she got big tits.
Big titties.
This is more just like the context of why she's like that makes sense, and it stops.
But I do
like they don't do that.
Yeah.
They don't do that except for a male character.
It's not as bad as like Fire Force's fan service. Like Fire Force's fan service is just like what the fuck.
So while I definitely understand,
and I understand people that like first see that and they're just like, I don't. Is this just gonna be the rest? Because I mean, there are other scenes where the girls are in their bras and panties. Yeah, like that happens.
I definitely understand why that like is like a no, I'm good.
But at the same time, then you get this horrifying fucking image.
Like even this, like this was freaking creepy, dude.
That one's really good.
It's so unnerving. God, it freaked me out at night. It kind of reminded me of Mirako-chan.
Oh yeah.
Which was super freaking creepy. Mm-hmm. And then like the main character's transformation.
Oh, into his what is it? The race car? What the fuck is this called? I don't remember.
What's this? Fun fact, this writer didn't work on this initially. He worked on Fireball, whatever this is, and then
whatever that is.
Yeah, and then he was he worked with Fujimoto on Fire Punch. He didn't work on
Fire Punch is really good. Definitely read it.
Yeah, he didn't work on anything else.
No. But I mean, this one is really good, and it's catching traction. I believe it's going to be an anime soon.
Look at how creepy this one is.
This is what I love.
Like
right?
the character that's here is not creepy at all.
No.
Like afterwards, but just like this idea of like being in the school at night and then you just see that shit.
Well, I've always said this.
It's so haunting.
And I know you've heard it a couple times, but in case people haven't heard it,
look at that. That is so creepy.
There's a big difference when like, oh, Demon Slayers, look at all those demons, and they're just like fucking waifus. And like
so
this, that is a demon. That is scary. That's spooky.
That's creepy.
And some of them are just weird, like the giant crab one. That one's fucking awesome.
No, I love him.
Yeah,
I love him so much. I'm trying to see like what the fuck. I guess that's his thing on Annulus.
That's a drawing.
I'm trying to find like the main character. Like to be honest, while I don't necessarily agree that the story is a romance 100%.
Well, that's cool. I never said that. I said there was romance elements.
No, romance elements. Sorry. It has
more romance than your regular shoujo. or sorry, your regular shonen. Like most shonens, just only focus on
Like,
the romance toward the tail end.
Yeah, this is cute as fuck. Like
Yeah,
their relationship is cute as fuck.
Yeah.
And
And then other parties get introduced, and you're like, fucking stop. No.
Yeah. I don't know if you're where you're at, but is it with the other girl that the next
Yes,
girl
it's the other girl and the other
who
guy.
shows up?
The other guy.
The other guy showed up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find his transformation. I hate that.
You have to look up transformation, probably. I don't know,
dude. I hate that, dude. Just fucking show me the shit I want.
They can't read your fucking mind.
Yeah, they can. Just do it.
They can't.
There you go.
Ooh, 18 plus too. Wow.
Well, yeah, because it is.
No, it's very mature within. It's like the backstory to one of the girls, like with that demon mom thing.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It goes there. It
gets weird and scary.
Maybe there's probably a website somewhere where you can check if this is not for you. Then
No, but it's. I don't think you should write it off because of that fan service at the beginning.
No,
there might be more.
Stick with it.
Might be more if I recall, just because like.
That's most anime, even early anime and manga and stuff.
It doesn't continue it after. If anything, it doesn't continue after like chapter 5.
Yeah, it's not like the guy. He does it at first, but after that, it becomes normal. Like she's in like her underwear, and it's not like every single time he's like, boy.
If you want to talk about like fan service, the main character's predicament is that he gets his balls taken away.
Yeah, he gets his balls and eventually something else taken away.
Like that's the main fan service.
That's my favorite manga panel of all time. When he goes sitting in your role, he's like, "Where are my balls?"
Yeah, he's like, "Where'd I go?" So I as much as I understand not wanting that, it is definitely
it's weird, but in all the right ways.
Yeah.
So
there's that. I think the action is also really good.
The action's very good. The chase scenes are really good.
Yeah,
like when they're running
speed lines.
Yeah.
And just the art behind, like you can tell how fast he is.
Yeah.
When he transforms into like Turbo Granny,
and
even how fast Turbo Granny is, and then their psychic powers between Momo and the other character.
Yeah,
I'm forgetting his name right now.
Oh shit! Okay, after this, remind me to talk about Blue Flag. There was just one little thing I wanted to talk about.
Just say it now.
Okay. I really like the art in Blue Flag because like. When a character really likes another character, they like perceive them differently. So like they're drawn regularly, but then let's say both characters fall, and then one looks at the other, and then all of a sudden they're drawn like very like pretty and stuff like that. Like
it's got
that's
how that filter effect they used to do in old movies.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, oh my god, you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, even though they don't see it within themselves. Anyways, that's it. I feel like the artist portraying that aspect. 10 out of 10, great job.
And the art in this like doesn't miss.
No, it does not miss at all.
Every chapter has felt like,
and it's clean. It's got clean lines, but also when things get like really crazy, the sketch lines are like fucking crazy.
Really makes you know where characters are.
And like what you said, that was a good point. Speed, like him drawing speed in this is fucking awesome.
It looks freaking sick.
Yeah,
it's really good, and the story. Right now is just kind of like it's cool.
I'm really liking it, but I'm not caught up.
It's not I wouldn't write home about it.
Yeah,
it's nothing like to be like this is the greatest shonen story ever.
Although
I think this is obviously
when this turns into an anime, I think people are gonna hype this up.
Yeah, this is definitely really good. But if this ends anytime soon, I doubt it. It'll probably be another like 400 chapters before this ends.
Yeah.
I hope this guy really does something more serious. Because if he worked under like the Chainsaw Man guy, like he probably has seen some stupid shit that guy has done. So yeah, I recommend it. I recommend it wholeheartedly. Is that for work?
Yeah, I'm not gonna read it.
All right. Well, JJ, we're gonna move on to a different kind of medium here.
What medium would that be?
It is very similar to manga. Yes. It is the American version.
The American version.
It is comic book.
Comic book.
So JJ, you're reading Astonishing X-Men. Tell us about it. What are you liking about it?
All right. So just
everything. Give us context.
Full disclosure, just a heads up, this is written by Joss Whedon, so if you don't want to support the work, uh, because he's done some really bad things in Hollywood. I completely understand. I just have the Marvel
Has
ass.
he? I thought Josh Whedon was the guy who did the Justice League movie.
Yeah, and the Avengers, but he's not anything like sexual, but it's like him being a dick on set and stuff like that.
Oh, he's just an asshole.
Yeah, he's just an asshole basically. But if
Just
you
an
don't want to
ass.
support
If
assholes,
he
then,
like, if he
yeah.
like did something inappropriate,
Uh-huh.
then sure. But if he's like a Tom Cruise, like Tom
Yeah,
Cruise is weird.
Tom Cruise is weird. Anyways, so all right, I've been a huge comic book fan for the longest time. I've always avoided X-Men because it is basically a fucking soap opera mixed in with comic books, and it's a lot of history. It's a ton of history, and you need to pretty much know all of it. Like a lot of the times with like Bat Joss Whedon is a
As a
goofball.
goofball.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
goofy. What was it saying? Oh, lost it. Gonna find it.
You've been reading comic books.
Oh yeah, I've been reading comics, but X-Men is that next hurdle. Not like other characters where like if there's a new Batman run, you could just start that Batman run and you'll be fine. Like new 52 Batman, bam, you're there. Tom King's Batman, bam, you're there. You don't need to know any other context. With X-Men, it's not really the case. You gotta like kind of know about something that's happened before, like in the like old comics, and that can be troublesome for some people because they just don't like old art. I understand that, and some of the writing back then is hokey, cheesy.
Yeah.
So, but what I did is I did a YouTube video and basically like, all right, so what do I need to know before this? Okay, got it. This is what makes reading comics so hard to recommend to people. It's like, all right, but you need to know the context of this. But this is only really for X Men. So Astonishing X-Men, I've heard, is a great starting point for X-Men. And it is. Genuinely it is. You can start here. There's a couple things that are referenced to the previous story arc written by Grant Morrison, which I haven't read that one yet, but I heard it's very good. But Astonishing X-Men, if you are going to get to X-Men, this is a great, great place to start. But again, do your homework a little bit. It the only thing that I don't like about this, but also why you should read it, is Wolverine characters sucks ass. It's like it's a Joss Whedon thing where like someone's reading his mind and all he's thinking about is I like beer. And it's like shit, that fucking sucks. That is it's terrible fucking writing. I hate that.
Yeah.
But literally every other X-Men character is written very well. Beast is written very well. Emma Frost is written very well. Cyclops is written very well. And the rest of the group is written very well. But a lot of people are like, oh, Wolverine kind of sucks. I'll dip out. But if you want to know about the X-Men, not just Wolverine, I know he's the most popular character because he's got knives for hands. I understand. Like, I understand the appeal.
It's so cool.
Oh. And this is the rest of the Astonishing X-Men run. I believe Whedon's ends at like 24, 25, I believe. Yeah, because 25 Ellis takes over. So I've only read up to 25. And that concludes Joss Whedon's run. But it like is a great deconstruction of these characters. You really know a lot more about them. Kitty Pryde is like the main character kind of. She's like our what's the term, like point of view character. Like,
yeah, she's the POV character.
yeah, she's a POV, and it really gets you to know these characters, and it has a great story arc. The very first story arc is really good, where there's a cure for mutation, and like Beast's mutation. He used to be a guy, and then he turns into this hairy beast. So he's like really considering like taking this formula, but it's like so you're ashamed of being a mutant kind of thing. So that causes controversy with the X-Men group. Like, should you be ashamed of being a mutant? Should you even take this drug kind of thing? It's all very interesting dialogue. The action is pretty good. I mean, the art is competent and stuff, but you're not in it for the action. You're in it for the characterization and stuff like that. It was written, I believe, in like the early 2000s. It's just really good intro to X-Men. I also read God Love Man Kills, which is really good. It's written like 82, so there's some outdated vocabulary. Kitty Pryde, to make a point, says the N-word, which I was like, fucking what? It's so funny. Hard R too. And it's like, whoa, this was written by a white dude. Let's calm down here, folks.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah. But it's because every X-Men book is political. If anyone says any different, they're actually a fucking idiot. Because X-Men is about race. Basically, the inception of X-Men is like, hey, comic book companies won't let us really write about black people and their struggles, besides like Black Panther. So let's create a group, X-Men, have people be racist against them, and that's how we can tell like black stories. Pretty much is through the vehicle of X-Men. Now, obviously, there's a lot more diverse characters and stuff like that. But like through its inception, X-Men is about social justice and civil rights, and like there's a lot of that in there, and it tackles it pretty good. I've only read the Chris Claremont. Well, that scene is very outdated. The opening scene of God Loves, Man Kills is very, relevant to today's standards and stuff like that. Wolverine is a credit to his people. No, Wolverine is cool, and I've read Wolverine stuff. Like you can pretty much pick up anywhere with Wolverine because he's the most popular character, and they're not gonna be like, oh man, you need to know all this beforehand. It's like, nah, you can just pretty much pick up a Wolverine book. But X-Men fans are like dedicated; they read every X-Men book. But it's very good, and I'm genuinely very excited to continue my like X-Men journey kind of thing, because I'm mostly a DC guy, but I've pretty much read most of like the significant runs on DC characters, so I'm venturing into Marvel. I still prefer DC overall, comic book wise, absolutely 100%, not even a fucking competition. But Marvel's got some good runs too, and this X-Men run is really good as well. And I promised I wouldn't talk about Spider-Man, so I specifically didn't pick a Spider-Man book because Peter does not want to hear it.
Inadvertently talked about it, so
I did bring it up. I told Peter not to bring it up because I'll go on a fucking rant.
And to be fair, I totally forgot about Spider-Man for
yeah. Well, you can't forget about Spider. You look at Marvel, and what's the first character you think of? It's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Real quick, do you want to like quickly take a minute, go upstairs, grab something to eat?
Yes. All right, guys.
Right.
We will.
No. You just grab food, and then I'll go after you grab food.
Can you grab food?
I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, you grab it for both of us.
Oh yeah, both of us.
All right. Love you.
So then you.
Yeah. I'll keep talking. Talk about whatever I want. Hi guys. Peter's balls are about yay big. Okay, they're about this fucking big. He doesn't want to tell you guys, but he's a little embarrassed by it. But anyways, yeah, no, X-Men is a great series, but it's like again, it's very heavy with continuity and stuff like that. So it's not really for beginners. If I were to recommend something for beginners, I would recommend Astonishing X-Men. But if you just want to get into comics, start anywhere with Batman. Generally, Spider-Man stuff is pretty good to start out with. What's another? Superman is another great starting off point. Like a lot of the DC stuff doesn't have a lot of continuity tied into it, so you could start anywhere. So here's the big difference. Okay, so DC reboots their universe every like 5 years, so like that's how you can get fresh new eyes on stuff, and like the runs are relatively short because like after it goes on too long, they're like, let's have a crisis, and that's their way of rebooting things. Marvel is one continuous timeline. Since the first books of Marvel till today, it's all one cohesive continuity. So like stuff that happened like 30 years ago in real time only happened like 3 months ago with them, which doesn't make any sense at all if you even plot this out correctly, but like fuck it, let's just go with it kind of feeling. But yeah, I mean, Marvel and DC are great, but there's also you don't just have to do Marvel and DC. There's also Image. Image is great for independent stuff. That's where The Walking Dead came from. Outcast came from. Invincible came from. Didn't they reboot in 2015 with Secret Wars? Yes. Okay, so with Secret Wars, the deal with that was in the early 2000s, they created this thing called the Ultimate Universe, where like it's a completely separate timeline from the main Marvel continuity, doesn't touch the main continuity at all. Start with Bendis's Ultimate Spider-Man, and that is a great starting off point with Spider-Man because you don't need to know anything. It's very dated because it was set in the early 2000s, but basically what Secret Wars did, they kind of went back on their promise. Like initially when they invented the Ultimate Universe, they were like, they were basically like, all right, we are never crossing over with the main Marvel timeline. And sure enough, they're like, now we are crossing over with the main Marvel timeline because we need a summer event right now. So then it got all confused. So Jonathan Hickman came in. He's a very good writer. East of West is really good. It's an Image. It's awesome. Peter read some of it. But basically, Secret Wars was a way to get rid of the Ultimate Universe because after a while, the comics didn't start didn't start doing very well. So then they were just like, we need Miles Morales in the main continuity because Miles Morales comes from the Ultimate continuity, not the main continuity. They're like, we need him. He makes us money. Let's go. So then Miles became. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Then Miles is now part of the main continuity. But now, apparently, the Ultimate Universe is coming back. I think it's called Ultimate Fallout, if I am not mistaken. Let me see. Marvel Ultimate. Oh, fuck. Oh, I fucked that up. Fallout, I think it's called. Out. So I think the Ultimate. No. Oh, fuck. That's. What's. The fuck is it called? 2023, maybe? Ultimate. Is it Ultimate Evasion? Shit. Oh, wait. Yeah. Here it is. Ultimate Universe. Ultimate Evasion. Yeah. So they're bringing it back now, which is like. Oh, okay. I guess we're doing this now. And yeah, but Secret Wars is very good. You definitely need some fucking context for it in order to understand what the fuck is going on. But yeah, because if you don't know that Reed Richards went evil and created the Marvel Zombie universe, then I don't think you're ready for Secret Wars. That's the thing with Marvel. You really got to study up on your shit. Whereas DC, you can just kind of jump in wherever. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, yeah, again, Miles Morales came from the Ultimate Universe. He wasn't part of the main storyline until Secret Wars, where they wove him into the main Marvel continuity. But yeah, a lot of Ultimate stuff are hit and miss. Spider-Man, you definitely have to read 100%. Ultimates, you can. It's kind of bad. Ultimate Wolverine and Hulk, really good. And that's about it. I mean, Ultimate Fantastic Four is good till it gets not good. But yeah, I just watched Comics Explained videos for Marvel. Yeah, good. Comics Explained is very good. There's also another one. No, Comic Storian is also very good. Yeah, that's it. And Comic Pop. I love Comic Pop. Pop is fantastic. It's pretty much podcast format where this guy calls that here. I'll pull up the thing. It's this guy named Sal who's been reading comic books forever. Talks to two guys who don't know anything about comic books at all. So he explains the storyline, you know, how goofy it is and stuff like that. Like Comics Explained kind of just like says what the story is, has a couple jokes over here and there. Whereas Comic Pop, like, it's like two guys just talking about like comic books in like a bar room type of situation. Like just cracking jokes and shit. And does a lot of like background story of like how the story was created and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm typing. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so this is Common Pop. It's probably my favorite YouTube channel of all time. So that's Sal, that's Ethan, that's Ben. And it just explains storylines, but in a very funny way instead of just a straightforward way. But Comics Explained and Comic Storian are also very fucking good if you just want to know the story. But yeah, I've been talking a lot. That's my spiel on Marvel, and I didn't bitch about Peter Parker and Mary Jane's marriage. Fuck yeah, they should stay married. Fuck you, Marvel. Yeah.
Thing is, though, you're going to probably be talking a lot too about this next one because you're the one who finished it. And just started.
All right. Well, you start talking, and I'll start eating.
So, JJ told me that I should read this little show called The Gray Man. This is obviously the show version of it that I have pulled up, but I'm reading it, and it's good. I'm only on chapter 8, so there's not a lot of chapters.
Not a strong start.
I don't agree with that. It's a really good start. I like it.
Once you get into it, like, well, if you think about it, if you really think that, then you're just gonna love the rest of the series.
Yeah. I think it's a really good, like old ass shonen that like
You're just gonna once you catch up, get ready to wait, baby. Get ready to fucking wait.
oh it's not over.
Oh no, it's hiatus. Hell, it's like not as bad as Hunter x Hunter hiatus, but like
I didn't know it wasn't over.
no, it's not over.
Oh
It's not even
man.
nearly over.
Oh man, I thought this shit was over.
No,
Now that I don't know that. Now I know that. Fuck, maybe I should stop reading it.
no. Keep reading. Keep reading. It's very good. It's
Because it
legitimately.
seems like an old fucking show. It doesn't seem new.
It's just the early 2000s. Do you consider Naruto an old show?
Oh, I thought it came out like in the 90s.
Naruto?
No, this.
No, early 2000s.
Mm.
I think like 2004, if I'm not mistaken.
You know
Well,
what?
yeah, it would have to
style?
be because 2006 was when they made the anime. So probably in the early 2000s. Wow.
This dumb shit. Always fucking making the anime when the.
Well, that's what happens. Then they run out of source material and they fuck themselves.
Yeah. You know what the art style reminds me of?
What's that?
It reminds me of Kingdom Hearts. I don't know why.
I don't agree.
It reminds me of Kingdom Hearts.
If you said Soul Eater, I would 100% agree, but I don't agree.
It looks nothing like fucking Soul Eater.
It's got the aesthetic of Soul Eater. It's like Full Metal Alchemist meets Soul.
Let me see if I can find it. It's manga. It started in 2004.
Yeah.
So then yeah, the anime was like a pretty much a year later.
Don't watch the anime. It fucks up everything.
That's crazy. Like a year later they just said like you don't think it looks like Kingdom Hearts that like cover?
No.
You don't think at all?
No.
I think it looks very similar to
It looks too Halloweeny. That's why it's the Soul Eater. And like, if you said Full Metal, I would totally agree with you as well. But you said Kingdom Hearts, and I feel like you're just trying to take shots at Kingdom Hearts, and I don't appreciate.
so like why is it called D Gray Man?
I can't tell you that because I'll spoil it.
Oh. Oh, is it because he has gray hair?
No. I cannot tell you.
Does D stand for something?
Yes.
Does it stand for Monkey D. Luffy?
Yes.
Is this just a?
Yeah, it's a spinoff of One Piece. Yes.
I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it too, bro. He looks like Luffy.
He does not look like Luffy.
He looks just like Luffy.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
You're just pulling shit out of your ass at this point.
He looks just like Luffy.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
That's such bullshit.
Like that's Luffy right there.
It's not. Anyways, what are you enjoying about it? Where are you at?
I'm on chapter 8. He just got assigned to his first mission in the Black Order.
So is he? So he just went inside the Black Order and he fought that dude with the sword. That's where you're
Yeah.
at. Yeah. Okay. What's it feel to you? Like, what? Why are you so like? Why you are? Because usually off the bat you're like, I don't know about this one, but you. I mean, you said, wow, it's really good so far. What's making you say that?
I like the main character. The first chapter was really cool because at first I thought like that chick was gonna be in the show or in the manga, and then she just fucked right
What,
off.
the police officer?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no, she doesn't say.
she just fucks right off. It was a really good introduction of what Akuma are, why, and like it's actually like an interesting little like
Magic system. You like the magic system?
so far the only thing I know about the magic system is that there's a thing called innocence and he has to go find it.
Yeah. You gotta really pay attention to that stuff because I made the mistake of not really paying attention and I get totally fucking lost. But like, I mean, not that it's overly complex, but you just gotta pay attention to be like, oh, now I understand what's happening. Because if you don't, then you get a little fucked over. But it's not as bad as like Jujutsu Kaisens or anything, where it's just like, wait a minute, this makes no fucking sense, and I'm tired.
No, Jujutsu Kaisen just wants to be like cool.
Yeah.
For no reason. A really good power system to me has always been JoJo's. Because it's very basic in the first arc they introduce stands in part 3, where it's just like this stand can breathe fire, this stand
Mhm.
can
All right, yeah.
use the power of emeralds,
Mhm.
this stand can use the power of dreams. And then in part 4,
So it sounds like you like low magic. Low
well, no,
magic.
because I was saying because then it progresses into more complicated shit where like there's this stand where it's like if I stand directly above you, I
Mhm.
can injure you
Yeah.
and control your body as long as I stand directly above you.
Mhm.
So you have to. How are you going to fight me with a stand who is capable of taking things away,
Mhm.
including taking away the thing of sound in your sight,
Mhm.
or like your ability to have friction?
Yeah.
Like like it gets complicated like that. Like it goes from like this one can do fire to this one can steal everything, including like light, including
Yeah.
gravity. It can steal everything. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So, like for this seems very simple so far. They have the power of God, which I'll learn whether or not D stands for God. Damn God.
It takes such risks that I've never seen a manga pull off before. And like I don't want to say a lot because then you're gonna be like expecting stuff. So I won't say anything. But just know that like it's it takes risks. It takes risks, and it hopes that you're gonna follow along with it.
All right, the main character's cool too. I like his design. He seems like a really nice guy.
Mhm.
Maybe he turns. Maybe he goes.
Once you meet his master, he's fucking hilarious. So,
I can
love his
already
master.
tell.
Yeah.
His master seems really cool because everyone's like, "Oh, fuck that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him," and he's like, "I don't fucking like you guys either." So we'll see what happens. So JJ, tell me what you think about it because you're the one who didn't really recommend it to me. You just said you read it and you really like it. So I just was like, "I'll fucking read it."
It's probably my favorite shonen manga.
Wow,
No, I mean,
insightful
listen,
information, ladies and
listen.
gentlemen.
It's an underdog, right? Because you got your Naruto's, you got your Bleaches, you got your One Pieces, and all right, I would say it's my favorite, but I'm fearful that it will never have an ending because the author is a girl. She takes a very long time to come out with chapters, and I don't even know if it's due to health or
Well, it says
just
here after a hand injury of the author,
mhm.
they moved the manga to Jump SQ,
Yeah, which
and then
comes
it
out like every
continued,
3 months, I think.
and then it continued irregularly until January 13th, after which it was put on indefinite hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
Serialization restarted in quarterly magazine SQ Crown Volume 1
Mm-hmm.
between 2015 and 2014.
Yeah.
Or 2017. So it just looks like, even reading this, like it seems like there's a lot of production hell
Mm-hmm.
on the fact that even after her hand being
She's
injured
still
since
suffering, so it takes her
2009,
longer to.
2009,
I
like
didn't actually know that, so
holy fuck, that's
yeah.
like that's
That's pretty bad.
That's 12 years
Yeah.
that she's been dealing with a hand injury. If that's the case,
Yeah.
if there could obviously be more stuff than that, like life and
Yeah. No. When you read the ending, you get the author's perspective on life, and it's not.
unless of
too
course they
glamorous.
made other shit. No, they've literally made nothing else.
Yeah, and she got pissed at the anime, because like it didn't follow her script, and she got pissed at a lot of official art because
Well, she made a one shot though in 2011 and another one in 2013.
yeah, um, she got pissed because basically all the promotional art because fans and fan service. There's Alan Walker and the I keep forgetting his name, but the guy with the long hair, the long black
I
hair.
don't remember his fucking name either.
Right, but there's a lot of gay fan fiction, so they really dove into it, and then she's like, "No, they're not. Like, stop fetishizing these. They're teenagers. Please stop." Like, it's the exact opposite of like the My Hero author, where he's like, "Oh, look at this cute picture of like two teenager girls touching each other." Like it's the exact opposite of that. It's like, please stop sexualizing these characters. They are underage. Like, and tremendous respect for that because like a lot of manga authors just shut their fucking mouth about that. Which is probably why this one is so buried because Shonen Jump, like, while they still promote it, they're just like, why are you talking against us? Fuck you. We own you. Like, so.
I just think she's like, she's her hand, and it's just at this point like, I'll fucking make it when I want to.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
But
she does other shit.
it's very good. I would say it's probably my fourth or fifth favorite manga of all time. I think Full Metal is still better. And I think One Piece is a little bit better. But still, that doesn't, even though saying that, doesn't discount that, like, this one is like, fuck it. It's S tier. It's got, I can't recommend it enough.
Does it get like really fucking dark?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You're in the, probably, you're, once they go on their very first mission, then you'll realize the tone shift. But it's like Full Metal where there's dark moments, but it still has time for comedic moments. Up until where the very end is, then it is pretty much doom and gloom from there.
We gotta make noise, or else YouTube will suppress it. I'm just kidding. It's not a real thing. Well, there's one last thing, and JJ, this one's all you because I don't read real books.
I know you don't. You're
I'm
fucking
lazy.
fast and you're pathetic.
I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I have other things I want to do in my life than read a book. I'd rather play Destiny Raid.
Yeah, I know.
Than do.
Okay, how many hours do you spend on Destiny?
Currently,
every day.
Like less than an hour a day.
Take 30 minutes to read.
Not even like I don't even play every day.
30 minutes to read. You don't need a whole hour. You're just starting out. 30 minutes. Done. Doesn't matter because you're not like me. Like I am trying to strive as a challenge to read 40 books a year, right? You don't have to do that. You can, if you want, read one book and then read. There's no time limit for you. You can take your time with reading. There's no rush at all.
Yeah, but I can't read.
Yes, you can. You just have to find the perfect book. And like, just what I did, look at a preview of a book. It gives you like the first 10 pages or so. And if you're not engaged immediately, don't even bother. A lot of people are afraid of like not finishing a book. It's like, well, I don't like this, but I have to finish it. No, fuck it. Because then reading's going to be literally miserable for you. You're going to be like, I hate this. All I want to do is stop. And then you're going to stop. Research the book that you want to get into. Just do a quick like YouTube review video. Hi, I really like this book. Da 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 da. Here's kind of what it's about. What? Magic Tree Houses. It's one of the greatest series of all time.
It goes stupid.
It does. It goes fucking ridiculous. They time travel. They go to space and shit. But
yeah, does this fucking book we're about to talk about go to space?
Yes, it does.
Fair warning though, after the 30th edition, they're over 100 pages.
Yeah,
Fuck,
it's a
I
bit.
can't read that.
It's a bit steep. That. It's a bit steep.
I can't do that. It's a lot of pages.
No,
I used to read a lot in high school.
Yeah,
it just in college, like I was forced to read textbooks for school.
No, and this
on
is what.
On top of that, I had to like study.
Mm-hmm. This is what school systems do. They force you to read a book that you really don't want to read, or force you to read a passage that you really don't want to read, and then for the rest of your life you associate with that, and you're like, "Fuck, I really don't want to read."
Well, no, it was more just I'm already doing something, so I don't have time to read a book. Whereas in high school, middle school, and high school, I had all the time in the world to go home and read a book.
But you still do have time to read a book. You don't have to spend an hour. 30 minutes is not a lot within a day.
Look, am I going to get enjoyment? You're going to say, yes, of course you're going to enjoy the book, but just hear me out. Am I going to get enjoyment from something I haven't done? Or do something that I know is going to give me enjoyment? No, i.e., not saying Destiny, I'm just saying in general, video games give me more enjoyment.
You have
currently than books.
In order to enjoy a book, you have to want to read. If you're coming into this like, I don't even really want to read, you're just not going to enjoy it. You're going to be like, fuck, I have to do this.
I tried to read No Longer Human.
I
stopped reading it because mainly me and my girlfriend
Yeah.
didn't have the time to with her master's program
Yeah.
and me trying to find a job.
Mhm.
But
Was that it? Oh,
But,
but
yeah.
no, like because if you go from the mindset like fuck, I gotta read these, reading's gonna feel like a chore. Reading should never feel like a chore. So you have to get into okay, am I actually gonna do this? Am I gonna follow through with this? And I follow through with it. But if you're treating it like, oh fuck, gotta read 30 minutes a day. I'm just saying that as a guideline, but like read 5 minutes a day. Just try to get yourself into it. A really good do novellas. Novellas are great. They're under 100 pages. It's real fucking neat. There's one called Hellmouth right now. Read it. It's 50 pages. You can finish it within maybe 2 hours, maybe a day. You know, it's 50 pages. It's like that. It's easy. Or Murderbot. That's like 150. Really easy, easy fucking read. First person, so it's an easier reading experience. A lot of first person stuff is a lot more easier to read, whereas third person gets a little bit more complex and stuff because they really got to focus in on prose. Whereas like first person is easier. It's like, and then I saw this. Whereas like a third person will be like, he gazed upon the tree as dust fell through. You know, like
Yeah.
So Murderbot is really good. It's got good humor to it. Hellmouth is just a one-off medieval horror, which you don't see a lot now these days. You don't see it all, really. Besides, I guess, like Dark Souls, but it's not
Logic
scary.
made a book.
Yeah. Are you interested in reading that? Because then that could be something you should read.
Yeah, I might read it.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you believe that though?
A lot of celebrities write their own books.
Yeah, but Logic stopped making music for like 5 years, so I kind of believe that he actually did write a book.
Sure.
Well, what are the book you really want to talk about today, JJ?
Yes. So this is for
The homies.
the homies. I love this series. It's probably one of my favorite sci-fi series of all time, and it's so easy and approachable to read for everyone. If you love the Hunger Games, whether it be the movies or the books, and then you like when you were younger you read them and you haven't really read anything else after that, this is the next stepping stone. This is where it gets a little bit more adult, a little bit more serious. The first book, however, I mean, it's gonna. A lot of people are gonna like it, but it draws strong parallels to Hunger Games, which really draws it back. But then when the second book kicks in, it's like, oh shit, this is its own fucking thing. But it kind of has to. It's like Hunter x Hunter, right? That first arc, it's not really anything special, but it kind of establishes the world building and stuff like that. And then after that comes York New City, and you're like, holy fucking shit! Like this is amazing. But it's again first person. And it's under some editions, but let's say under 400 pages. So, for people who don't normally read, it's maybe if you consider that steep, that's steep. An average book is about 500 pages, but it reads like that. It just goes. There's no real breaks. It's just an adrenaline rush ride. And I guess I'll explain kind of the plot. So it's very simple with its approach. So basically, humanity is split up between classes that are distinguished by color. So you have the top of the, or actually, let me pull up the pyramid. Oh, red. Rising. How do I say this? Colors, maybe? So awkward typing like that. Ugh. Oh, yeah, there's the pyramid. Okay. Give you a visual. You fucking piece of shit. Kill yourself.
Open image in another tab.
All the way down. That's what I did. Oh, wait. Wait, what do you mean all the way down?
Yeah, you keep passing it.
What do you mean? Right here?
No. Oh, you see copy link address?
Oh. Sorry. Okay, so basically, Earth started kind of, humanity is distinguished on classes based on color. That's like New York.
Yeah.
Well, it is a commentary on that, on race in general and stuff. So gold is your top tier. So basically, Humanity, some of humanity moved to the moon, and then the Earth was like, "Hey, you still have to pay taxes and stuff," and they're like, "Fuck you, dipshit."
Yeah.
So then they have a giant war, and the Golds won because they're the best at humanity, right? So then humanity divided up in all these classes. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them, but Red is at the very bottom. They live on Mars. So humanity spreads out to, after that war, they spread out to all different planets. So you have the Moon, Uranus, Mars, Pluto, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And Reds are miners at Mars, basically. And they're like the lowest of the lowest class. They're like dirt poor. They live underground. They live in dirt for all their lives. And like for them, they don't have currency. Like it's all food based. So like
Okay.
the government's like, oh, you did a good job today. Your colony gets more food, while as the other colony gets no food. So it's very like they pit their own race kind of against each other. The Golds are pitting their own race against each other. And then so within the first 50 pages, something, or no, sorry, first 25 pages, something major happens, and it sends our main character Daro into an adventure where he has to infiltrate the Golds at this academy that they hold for like the top elite like generals and stuff. And basically, there's this organization called the Sons of Ares, which are full of Reds that want to take over the Golds from the inside. So they send him in disguise as a Gold to infiltrate that school, climb up the ranks, and eventually sabotage them from the inside. That's a very basic plot without spoiling anything. And how the Hunger Games similarity.
I was going to say, this sounds nothing like Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games similarity is the school, their final test is they all put them in an arena, they all separate in groups, and they kill each other. But it's not like an international game where they like televise it everywhere like Hunger Games. It's just literally, it's a battle royale. It's like they put them in an arena, they all split off into separate groups, and they kill each other to eliminate the weakest one because all the Golds want are the strongest. They pride themselves in like, we only want the strongest members of our society. Eliminate the weak, no matter what their class is within our Gold society. Only Golds can attend to this academy. Everyone else, fuck them. Yeah. Fuck all the colors. That don't take that out of context.
Yeah, they already got you for the Dobby thing. Don't even worry about it.
Oh fuck.
So,
yeah, and it's like it's sci-fi only. It's in its like environment because everything takes its place, but it really borrows from like fantasy stuff because they use guns, but most of the time they use blades and stuff like that. So it's got that very medieval type. It's got like families, but you could kind of substitute that for a kingdom. So different families, aka different kingdoms, all across the land, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. So what about it do you like?
I love because it's the traditional. It's done in a more complex way later on, but one of my favorite archetype characters, you know, I read Berserk, I love God of War, is the rage character, and Daro is rageful. He's Aaron. He's like, fuck all these Golds. I want them all dead. Like that kind of like.
Okay.
So it's that, and you're like, yeah, fuck yeah. But then obviously he gets to know some of the Golds, and then he starts to be like, am I doing this for the right reasons? Maybe there are some good peoples on this side of the war, or maybe not. And it's like a conflict with ideology and stuff like that. He's like, I mean, he stays mad throughout the entire trilogy, but like, he's like, all right, not all of them are bad. And well, I don't want to spoil what happens next, but he makes friends. He makes friends with Golds.
Oh no!
That subscribe to his ideology eventually. But
you idiot!
And it's really like I like my books with a great mixture of plot and character. A lot of times with books, they very much struggle with either honing in all their cards and chips on the characters, and then it's weak world building, or they hone in on all the world building and don't really give a shit about the characters, you know?
Yeah.
Where this one meets like the exact middle. It's a really perfect ground. It's an interesting society. It's an interesting lore and world building, while at the same time characters that you love and relate to. Even characters that you hate, you come to realize like, oh, now I understand why you're this way. You know what I mean? It's not like Darkseid where it's like, hi, I'm evil because I'm evil. It's more of a Thanos like, oh, you're a genocidal maniac, but I understand how you got here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Would you recommend it?
Yes, I would recommend it to anyone who is into sci-fi and wants to get, especially if you read Hunger Games. This is next step right here.
This is baby's first adult Hunger Games.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Baby's first dystopian future, because like if you start with like The Expanse, because a lot of people like the Expanse series. God, those books are like very scientific and like this. This is Star Wars, right? This is like don't really give a shit about the science or the logistics of it. We're just having fun. There's lasers, cool. Whereas like The Expanse is like, okay, so how people float in space is due to the gravity and
Yeah.
and then you're just like, am I reading an encyclopedia? But like I'm interested in that stuff. A lot more people like Star Wars than Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Star Trek gets into the science of things. Star Wars is like, hey, you want to see lightsaber swords? You want to see laser swords? Yeah. All right, here you go. Whereas Star Trek is like, planet's atmosphere is based on, and you're just,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I will give it a read. Maybe when I finally decide to read a book, I'll read Dune.
Dune is not good for first time readers. It is very, very dense.
It's so dense, dude. I've listened to the audiobook.
Listen to the audiobook instead. You'll get past it faster.
Yeah, I listened to the audiobook of that instead.
The book is incredibly dense. And it's not... I love Dune. I love Dune to death. Not a lot of interesting dialogue or characters. It's mostly about the philosophy and the world building behind it. Like, people complain in the Dune movie, like, Paul doesn't really... Like, he's kind of a blank piece of toast. I'm like, yep. That's him in the book. Timothy Chalamet is playing just like him in the book. Yep.
Good.
You
Good.
nailed it.
Well,
he's like, it's actually interesting. Timothy Chalamet, to study up for the role of Paul, looked at a 2-hour video of a piece of cardboard just sitting there, and I was like, "That's Paul."
Did he really?
No.
Did he really?
No,
Why
no,
would
no,
you lie like that?
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
You proud of yourself for lying?
It was a joke.
He's a fucking liar. So with that is what we've read. JJ, I think you have a video on Red Rising anyways.
I do. I have a book review of it. It's one of my earlier green screen ones, so it's not too well edited. I mean, it's well edited, but it's not my best work. My best work is Toxic Anime Fandoms, which I will always plug because
That's not what I'm shilling.
I love that video. I've been trying to chase the success of that ever since. But no, like I go into a little bit more detail, obviously, than I do here. But yeah, no, check out that video. It's only 10 minutes long. You can't take 10 minutes to help me out, dude. I look greasy in that video, though.
Did you read Hyperion?
Yes, I did. I heard. Yes, it is one of the better sci-fi books. The basic plot of that is it's actually kind of a well done horror book. It's like basically these 5 people go on a pilgrimage. It's a priest, politician, your everyman, detective, and stuff like that. And they're all on this planet, and they're all running away from this one creature. And that's the entire plot of the book. So each chapter is like their different perspective on how they got there, why they're on this planet, and stuff like that. It's old sci-fi, so a little advanced reading. Not too advanced, but like I would say intermediate level of reading with vocabulary and stuff like that. And take your time with the book. Don't speed through it. Take your time with the book. But it is still very, very good. It's one of the best sci-fi books of all time. By Dan Simmons.
Maybe we'll check that out too. But check out his Red Rising book, his Red Rising video. It's a good watch. Definitely check it out if you have the time.
I love talking about books.
Yeah,
books are great. Everyone should read.
He does love talking about books. He won't ever shut the fuck up about them.
I won't ever shut the fuck up about Mary Jane now.
He's going to make a video on
about
why you should read books, which is cool. Otherwise, check out the description below our socials outside of his video. I want to pretend that I do things outside of this YouTube channel, but I don't. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, you're
with
my
own
bitch.
issues.
You're my bitch.
But otherwise, yeah, if you like what you see here, check out our other streams. We have plenty of them from like.
Yeah. Check out my Prime video. I thought that one was going to do good. I edited real hard on that one. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's not. I even incorporated memes into it.
Yeah, it's all right.
There's filthy
It's
Frank
okay.
in it.
It's okay, buddy.
Did you watch the video?
I did.
You watched the whole thing?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Okay, don't believe me. W Stream, did you guys see the recent Jedi Survivor trailer?
Yes.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen
I have.
it at all.
I'm
a friend of mine told me to watch it, and I just never got around to it.
I'm gonna play it. We were gonna talk about Star Wars real quick. I'm done with Star Wars. Video games, all for movies and television. I don't care.
Yeah, maybe in a different stream we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe while we're playing Jedi Survivor,
we'll talk about how much we hate Star Wars now.
Now that we can at least be catatonic. We don't have to be catatonic while we're talking about Star Wars.
That was a good college word.
Thanks,
nice,
man.
dude.
I've been using them a lot.
Now you can read Hyperion.
Yeah, now I can read it. So, yeah, go ahead, check out our old videos. I think we even did a video on Star Wars where you saw me being so
that was on my old channel, yeah.
On JJ's old channel.
Same channel, old video,
But otherwise, yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
We'll